Good afternoon and welcome back to ADK'ed Engravings. I'm Ed, your host. I apologize. I kind of screwed up and did not show this process as I came out here. I just kind of got in my head to get out here to get these couple of projects done that I'm trying to finish up, and did not do it. But as I say, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there's some victories here, but there's some little bit of a mess up today. So let me kind of show you what I am working on. I am actually working on a tumbler that I am doing for a coworker of mine, and I had everything set up on the XTool platform. Everything looked great. Everything was fine. I got it dialed in. I knew how big I wanted it. Used my SOP, standard operating procedure that I made up for the green tumblers I did. It's going to be an Engrave, 85% power, 300 speed, 1 pass, 300 lines, bi-directional. I just left frequency at 30. I started out with the blue light because that's what, when I put the material in up here, that's what it defaulted to. My SOP had fiber. So I did the first pass with what was recommended, thinking, okay, it's a black tumbler vice a green, like I did the first time, and I went with it. It did not, at least I didn't move it when it got done, but it came out very dark. And so what I did is that I then turned around and without moving it, because I wasn't sure if it was because I just needed to take the magic eraser to it and get it to kind of clean up so it brightened up. But instead what I did was I went and did a second pass, and I used the IR laser instead. And as that was working, it was very bright, very evident as I'm watching it with my lenses on. So again, I'm not sure what way it did, but I thought it came out, it looks a little blurry. And that could be because it didn't exactly line right up where it was supposed to. That's possible. But it did make a difference, and then I put the magic eraser on it and got it taken care of. So the problem I had, though, is that my screen is showing it correct, the keypad display is showing everything correct, but when it printed it out, it came out backwards. And I could not figure out what that, and I didn't notice it until it did the second pass when it brightened up. And so I couldn't figure out. I actually put a thing out to the group I'm part of on Facebook asking the question. Rule number one is I should have done just a quick Google search, because that would have answered my question without going in and doing it on the Facebook group, so I'm not repeating something, which I will make a correction on here as soon as I get done with this video. But what ended up happening is that somehow, I'm not sure what happened, but up here at the top, when you put in the chuck or the device that you're using, I had it originally over here, but somehow it rotated to roller. And on Google search, it stated, make sure that this is correct, because if it's on roller, it will reverse and mirror the image the opposite direction. And when I came in here, it was on the roller vice the chuck. So I'm getting ready to do a second pass, or a second time. This is just going to end up being a test mug for me, and we're going to try this again and see what happens. So come along with me at least on this part, and then what I'll do is I'll show you once I put a new mug in there. I'm going to test it on this, and then we'll put in a new mug and we'll try it on that, so you at least get to see the process a little bit. But hopefully that's the big thing. And this is now my second set of mugs that I have done. Throwing this blue painter's tape on here works like a dream. And so I would highly recommend, and you may not need to do this for every mug. It could just be that this camel polar mug is slick enough that it's not gripping it with the claws. But honestly, it doesn't hurt anything. I'm going to do it on every one of them, regardless what kind of mug it is. It just saves a headache and wasting possibly of a tumbler, because you know these aren't exactly cheap. So let me go ahead and do a test on this, see how it works out, and then we'll rock and roll and put the good one on. So just so you can see what I've done, these pins are through trial and error from the first one that I put together, the first set of mugs I did. So what I've done is I've just put 2 screws here. That's what this base is going to come up against. And I just always had this here. I probably just need to put a pin there and that'll solve that. But I put a black dot there so I knew exactly where it was going to go. And then this back here, this assembly piece here, that is used mostly for keeping the tumbler level and it's not drooping because of the weight. All I did was I just put 2 pins in the back behind here, back here, and again, that's where I know my spot is supposed to be for this, so it's automatic, it goes right there. And then I just lower this down, put this in the chuck, make sure that the seams, the rim is touching each one of the claws properly, and then I'm just taking this and raising it up till it's just barely touching. So it just helps a lot and makes a huge difference in this. So let me just get this set up and get this down. Okay, my apologies on that, kind of a foobar. The one thing that I was having a problem with is I couldn't get that to level up, and one thing I forgot is that this piece is an additional piece that I bought as a offshoot from another company, and so it gives me the ability to tilt this up and down, and I forgot I need to loosen that up so that I can get this straight, and now the bubble is nice and level, and then it's up against all the 3 rests I have. Good. So okay, let's go ahead and give this test run a shot and let's see what happens. As you can see, as soon as it got done doing the wording, now it's doing the top of the diagram. You can see how bright that lettering is now. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep it on IR for the future and use my own personal settings and update this accordingly. This is looking much better. Much, much better. Oh yeah, I'm liking the looks of that already. Yeah, so this is my test mug. Definitely came out much better. Doesn't have that blurriness look to it like the other one did. Again, I think that's because I did 2 passes and it didn't exactly line itself up perfectly, which is fine. So what I'm going to do here is just get the new mug put in there and we'll get this going. One of the things I am going to show you about my setup that I've got here before I finish off talking about this is that I do have the fume extractor. It's a little hard to see, but it's located back there. That's attached to this. But what I did find is that if the hood is not all the way down, there are fumes that are still getting out. So what I did was I just took a box fan and just started blowing stuff out so that it's going out the garage door to kind of help extract it. This being the case, what I may end up doing, it won't be this time home, but when I come home next, is to actually transfer tumblers into the PS2, because that has a hood that will be fully enclosed, and then just using this when I can actually do projects with the hood completely down so that the fume extraction is done properly. So one of the things is I just took this out that I am going to do is I'm going to get my magic erasers and just kind of clean this up a little bit. It just kind of helps shine it pretty nicely. Use my shirt to dry it off with. And it actually, I don't know how well you can see that, but it actually does a really nice job cleaning that up. And I really like how that came out. I really like how this came out. Hope you learned something from this. I gave you all the settings for this. and very, very happy with how this came out. So anyway, hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining me on ADK'ed Engravings.